The best thing in the world is ideas. None of us do anything without an idea. Even if it's you look in the cupboard and there's no coffee, you get an idea to go to the store and get some coffee. So there's ideas for everything, and I love to try to catch ideas and catch an idea that I fall in love with. And then I know exactly what to do. Stay true to that idea, translate it to one medium or another. You know, just realize the ideas that you fall in love with. And there's all these Vedic expressions, like man has control of action alone, never the fruit of the action. So I take that as meaning you do what you believe in, you're translating those ideas, and when they're finished, you say, okay, it's done, and you don't know how it will go in the world. It's just the fantastic thrill of making them and getting them to feel correct based on the idea. And it's just a fantastic thing. Many of the ideas that come are conjured by our world. And we all know that there's many mysteries, and I always say that human beings are like detectives. We want to know what's going on and what the truth of the thing is. And we see our world and we feel it, and we feel there's things going on, and then sometimes these ideas come and they string themselves together. The filmmaker has to understand the thing for himself or herself, but when things get abstract or a little bit abstract, there's room for many interpretations, and each person should be able to make up his or her mind to feel what the things mean. Life is filled with abstractions, and the way we make heads or tails of it is through intuition. And so people get used to film that pretty much explains itself 100%, and they kind of turn off that beautiful thing of intuition when they're looking at a film that has some abstractions. And some people, on the other hand, love these abstractions, and it gives them room to dream. An abstraction, to me, is a thing that cinema can say. And it's so beautiful, for me anyway, to think about these pictures and sounds flowing along together in time, in a sequence, making a thing that can only really be said in cinema. It's not words, it's not just music, it's a whole bunch of things coming together and making a thing that didn't exist before. And that's what I really love about it. It's up to the people then, to find their own, interpretation. It doesn't really matter what I think. Every screening, no matter what, all the frames of the film are exactly the same, but there's no two screenings that are exactly the same. It's the viewer and the picture and sound, and it makes a circle, and it just goes like that. And so you just feel it and think it. That's kind of intuition, emotion, and thinking together, and come up, make it have a sense to you. And people have a right to analyze the thing and say what it is for them, and to criticize it one way or another. It's beautiful. But I really believe the film should stand on its own, and there should be nothing added, nothing subtracted, and you work a long time to make it just so. And it's a very precious thing, every film.
Do you think art should be without borders, without pigeonholes?
Yes. There's a thing called freedom, and it's very, very important. Free to think anything and do anything. Every human being has a line they won't cross, but it's a different place for each of us. But you need to have freedom to do your work. Any restrictions is a sadness, and it can kill creativity.
That you've managed to avoid the compromise that people consider to be necessary in
Compromise is the worst thing. It's a bad, bad word. They say in the government, well, we should compromise. That means the good isn't as good as it was, and the bad is not as bad. So I think in a perfect world, in a world at peace, there wouldn't be any compromise.
You can't work without, freedom. And freedom doesn't mean that you don't listen to some suggestions, but you don't have to take the suggestion. You can listen, and I say never turn down a good idea, but never take a bad idea.
There's frustration along the way if it's not the idea and it's not right, or things aren't, the money in there, or this is happening. But there's another expression, keep your eye on the donut and not on the hole. So just keep concentrating from the television screen in your mind, or the big screen in your mind, or whatever it is. Get those things, every detail of that as good as you can get in front of you to get on the film or in the painting or whatever.
I always say every medium talks to you. And a lot of the mediums, even cinema, is a little bit action and reaction. For instance, in a rehearsal, you watch a rehearsal and then you react to that. And if it's not exactly right based on the idea, you go talk to the actors. And you talk to them with words so that they understand a certain thing, and then you rehearse again. And little by little, it gets closer and closer. And then I always say some light bulb goes off in their mind, and they catch this thing. Now they're going down the same road you're on based on the idea. And many mediums, the thing you're making some experiments, you start seeing what the medium does and how it reacts to this or this or this. It's almost a dialogue with the medium, and then you find your way with that particular medium. And then from then on, it's ideas flowing in that particular medium's talk, and away you go.
What for you is the most enjoyable part of the process? Is it the preparation, working on the script? Is it the actual shooting, working with the actors? Or is it the post-production?
Every aspect is enjoyable, and every aspect is critical. So it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful world making a film, and the crew and the cast, you become like a family. It's very, very beautiful. And as I say, every element is so important, is critical to the whole. So you work until each thing feels correct. And then you have a chance of the whole working.